How's it going, everyone? This is Brad Williams with Over 40 Fitness Hacks. With me, I have my new season co-star, chief scientist and co-founder of My Vital C, Chris Burres. How's it going, Chris?
Wonderful, Brad. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for jumping on our show. Moving on to our next subject matter, just tailing off of what we were just talking about. I've never had a research scientist, on my podcast, and thought it'd be cool to pick your brain on, we'll get back to My Vital C, but just for any supplements out there for any of my audience, like what are the things to look for and reviews and I've heard too before, like companies that put proprietary blend. Is that something you want to see, or do you want to see the exact proportions of each one of those? What are your thoughts on that?
So my kind of encompassing thought is, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you look at it, you need to do some research. Like let me give you an example. People call us on a regular basis. And I actually had this phone call, which I find was kind of funny ultimately. But somebody called me, this is early days, got through to me directly. And actually, if you ask for me, you'll often get to me. And he was like, "Hey, Chris, I'm taking this product," which was not mine.
Yeah.
"And I'm thinking to switch to this product, which is also not mine. What do you think?" And I started off, I said, well, the first one, the one that you're currently taking, definitely stop taking it. Because let me tell you a story about that company. We used to sell them the raw ingredient, and this was very early in the industry. And when we realized that they were taking our industrial version of carbon 60 and sticking it in a supplement that they were selling to consumers, we told them that they needed to order a different product, and we stopped selling to them. So yes, definitely stop buying from those people.
Yeah.
And then if you're really going to trust me to answer this question, and you're going to put this product in your body, you probably should buy from me. Right? Like that's just like, what's the risk? Like, why take the risk of consuming a product that, again, you're going to put this in your body? It is cutting edge. You want to know that you're working with a lab. Our pedigree, again, is delivering carbon nanomaterials to research institutions around the world, the most exacting market on the planet. And that just, we couldn't make a junk product. I mean, we'd have to sit down and go okay, everyone, forget everything we know about how we do manufacturing. We're going to turn out junk now. That's just never going to happen. And even then we would probably come up with better products than some of the people out there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of broad overview. Spend some time and understand who's the right source in your market, right? That's the first thing. The next thing is, and a lot of people will go onto Amazon and look at the reviews on Amazon, right? Mm-hmm. We're on Amazon. Like, some people like the next day shipping. Actually, we ship really quickly. If you go look, we've got 500 5-star Google reviews, 500 plus, and a number of them are related to shipping and how we get up there so fast. We typically do get it there in 2 days. But if you're used to Amazon Prime, you're in Amazon Prime on a regular basis, great. We've got products out there and you can get them in 2 days. But what you shouldn't do from a supplement perspective is go say, hey, this has a 5-star rating. It must be a good supplement made by a quality manufacturer. Because a 5-star rating doesn't say that, right? Mm-hmm. If you think in terms of maybe a cell phone, right? 5-star says that the cell phone works. It does what I want it to. I can read it. The lens isn't cracked. It says some things that are actually very valuable. But I always ask the question, what does a 5-star review on Amazon of let's say vitamin C mean? I mean, we can accept a couple of things that it doesn't mean. They didn't weigh with a scientific scale each tablet, or even one tablet, right? So it may say a gram, but they didn't even confirm that it was a gram, right? They certainly didn't take it and stick it in their HPLC machine and confirm that it was ascorbic acid, right? That's not what happened. And in reality, they probably didn't even count the tabs, right? If it said 90 capsules and they shook it, or it wasn't half empty, they didn't bother to count them. I mean, I joke, but what a 5-star review about supplements on Amazon really means is that they didn't die before Amazon harassed them enough to leave the review, right? Because you're really in that kind of circle. So you don't want to rely on reviews. You want to do a little bit of research, and there's a couple things you can do. Does the business have a legitimate location? If they only sell on Amazon, right? Amazon's a great marketplace, but if you're only on Amazon, are you really in the business? Like, is this really, or are you just kind of making? Are you just marketing and making a money grab for something that has some opportunity? So, do you have a real location? We've looked at some of the people in the C60 industrial C60 space, and we're like, well, these people are operating out of a PO box. Like, how legitimate is the business if it's just a PO box? Like, you look up the address that they use, and it's the post office, right? Like that. Those are pretty simple things to look at. And then you just spend more time and try and understand the owners. Can you get a hold of them? Is there a phone number that you can call? When you talk to somebody at the company, do you have a sense that that they care about the customer, that they care about the products, and that comes from the top down, right? That's the leadership guiding the customer service or the people who manufacture the product to deliver a high quality product. Of course, you will find all of that here at My Vital C, but those are the things that I would look for. And I've actually done this process. I actually went to, there's a book by David Sinclair called Lifespan, right? Game-changing book, awesome book. And he talks about NMN. So I'm like, NMN, he convinces me. I do a little bit of research. That looks like good stuff. Where am I going to go buy it? And knowing what I know in the industry, it's like, well, I'm just not going to trust the basic places. What I ended up doing was going to the research papers, the actual papers, and identifying where they got the product from, and then went to them to order the product, like directly where, like, this is the material used on the rats and that study. This is the NMN. So I'm going to buy it from there. That's got the best chance of success. And in our case, we were mentioned in the original study, so you can, in fact, get it from us.
Yeah. I just know I wanted to do this episode because I know a lot of people out there have watched this. I can't remember if it was on Netflix or YouTube, where some guys did it on purpose to create a supplement company, and it was either a protein powder or a pre-workout or something. And they literally just did the bare minimum to get through the FDA. And none of it's ever approved. That's a super hard rating to get, but it's whatever the level down is from that.
Yeah.
And they basically were shooting the film, and they were just grabbing random stuff from different companies, just no scientists on the team. And they were putting everything in pills and selling it. And they got it on all these chains and everything. Then they published a video out there just showing how messed up, like, the supplement industry is. Like, it's the consumer really has to do their research.
Yeah.
And anything I do, I go on like Better Bureau to see if anything pops up there. Just a lot of stuff that you just said, besides all the ingredients. And then I don't really know if a lot of people have the knowledge of how to look for manufacturers but I guess you just look up the manufacturer and check them up on Better Bureau.
Yep.
I would assume.
Yeah. And then go through and read are they involved in research? I mean, so many supplement companies are just out there to like, hey, this might work, so let me sell it to you. We're actually investing in research. We've got sleep studies going on. We've got additional toxicology studies going on. Like, we're putting our money where our mouth is. And that's from my understanding, and I'm still relatively new to the supplement industry, from my understanding, that's very unusual.
Yeah. Another thing too I like is LinkedIn, checking out the co-founders, owners on LinkedIn to make sure they have one, make sure that there's a history as well. Because, I've seen so many times where someone put something up, but only the last 5 years and then nothing prior to that. It's because they'll just sit there and cancel it and jump on a new one or whatever it takes. So, it's just those little things, but it's a lot of work to do all that for supplements when it's right there at GNC, and you trust them. Whatever is at GNC must be good for me. It's just sadly you got to do a little bit more work.
Well, yeah, and I think there is going to be a filtering process that's good for you at like a GNC or at like a vitamin shop. So there is going to be some due diligence that they're going to do. But the reality is most people take supplements and don't really notice anything. I mean, vitamin C is a great example, right?
Yeah.
We kind of have this understanding that it's good for us. We certainly know it, keeps away scurvy. So there's no doubts about that. Not that any of us are at risk for scurvy, but
Anymore.
we certainly anymore, right? We certainly know that. But it's a different thing. Like in the case of our product, we actually have people who share the benefits that they're actually experiencing, and that kind of changes the game.
Yeah, I agree. And that's what testimonials do more than 1,000 words. It's actions and results. That's the word I was looking for.
Absolutely.
Very cool. So Chris, for anyone that's interested in more information, contact you or to purchase anything, what's the best way to get a hold of you? I'm sure you got a website, social media. Yeah.
So the best thing to do, we actually made a URL for your audience, so they can go to myvitalc.com/over40fit. So make sure you go to that link. And there's also a coupon code. Now, when you go to that link, you can find our products. We actually have gel caps. They were so popular. So our typical product is just the olive oil with the ESS 60 molecule in it. Some people don't like the taste of olive oil, so we put together the gel caps. And we actually ran out of them. I didn't realize how popular they would be. I actually kind of like the flavor of olive oil, so I was like, who's going to really want the gel caps? Apparently everyone.
Some people.
Yeah. So we've got gel caps back in stock. When you order those, I think they're about $129. You can get them for less than $100 on subscription. So that's like a 25% saving right in that neighborhood. Wow. And you can cancel that at any time. So when you do go to myvitalc.com/over40fit, and you want to try something, go ahead and go on subscription, save that discount. And then there's also a coupon code. The code is over40fit. And that gets them an additional $15 off of their initial order.
Okay, awesome. And the audience always knows I put everything in the podcast description, so you can just click on all the links. And also, as we talked about in episode 2, do your research first. Check out Chris Burres. He's all over LinkedIn and all over Google. So, and then, definitely I'm interested in trying it out, and I would like to see what my audience thinks as well. But Chris, just thank you so much for being on the show and giving us your wealth of knowledge, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Brad.
Absolutely.